We then have the main event, and Pete, I hated this so much. I hated it so much.
It just didn't have much sort of going for it, I suppose. It was
Not
just
at all.
All I've written down is they've got a new urn from the Chains.
Yep.
After I can't remember. Was it Mabel who stole
it was Kama, I believe, the Ultimate Fighting Machine,
right.
who stole the urn and made it into Chains. Yeah. Pete,
and then they got
it's
the
the
Chains.
worst period of the WWF.
They got the Chains, and Paul Bearer was very happy because he was walking around with the Chains.
Yeah.
And had he broken his eye socket or something?
That's right, yeah. Mabel had hit him with a leg drop.
Well, he said it's his facial appliance, that weird little mask.
This is a perfect example of where you've got Bret Hart trying to push things in a different direction, in a physical, in a grueling, in a professional wrestling direction. And he's come up against here in Undertaker, who's in his cartoon period. You know, he's got this grey plastic Phantom of the Opera souvenir mask, on his face, and these bright purple gloves and boots, and he just looks like something out of Scooby-Doo. He's also still doing all of the I can't be hurt and I sit up and all that, and I'm dead. I'm literally dead. And then you've got Bret Hart, who's like, I'm going to try and break your elbow. I'm going to try and work over your elbow in a methodical way. This was The Undertaker's first title shot in 2 years. One of those guys who's always been so big, he never needed the belt. And it was widely reviewed as being The Undertaker's first good singles match of any note.
Right.
It also proved that Bret Hart was not capable of getting a Bret Hart level match out of every opponent, because this really stinks. Hart did say that he injured his knee during the course of the match, and that was one of the reasons that it wasn't as good as it could have been. But by the time WrestleMania came around, that knee injury had healed, and he was able to drop the belt to Michaels much against his will. For the first 10 minutes, it's just chokes and grabbing of Bret Hart's face by The Undertaker. To tell you how exciting it is, at one point, Vince starts saying, "Happy birthday to George Burns." Which is, and Vince said, I mean, he may not be watching. And Mr. Perfect goes, why wouldn't he be watching? And Vince goes, oh, well, I mean, he might be. And it's even at this point, Vince has lost so much confidence in his awful company that he can't even bring in himself to sort of go, a fictional celebrity might be watching. And when Mr. Perfect's like, he could be, Vince is like, well, possibly. Something has happened to Vince here that is really sad. And thankfully, it will not last forever. Although, obviously, there are people who would dispute that. I mean, it would have been nice if he'd got sadder and sadder and simply left.
Helen's older than George Burns.
Oh, stop.
Did he just turn 100?
George just turned 100, yes. Congratulations and happy birthday to George Burns. Not so sure George is watching us, though.
Why not?
Well, he might be. The Undertaker.
There's a bit here where the crowd jeer Bret Hart. He's beginning to have that funny thing where he looks at them, he glowers at them. And he would spend a lot of his career doing this, having the crowd sort of go, we like the other guy, and going, I'm sorry, what did you fucking say? Where he was genuinely angry that people didn't go, you're the best. It's a really funny thing. Hart then takes the Undertaker's mask off at one point, and the people go even quieter then. They don't like this at all. He starts banging Undertaker's face into the turnbuckle, and people start booing, and they really don't like it.
Now the sharpshooter can be applied. Is Brett going to go for it?
You bet he is.
Red arm with the Undertaker.
Mixed emotions here, McMahon.
And you might suspect we'd have lots of mixed emotions with two fan favorites here in the World Wrestling Federation. Both men have legions of fans all over the world.
What they're doing here is, I suppose, this is a funny period where Hart is beginning to get very disgruntled and very upset at work, and he's getting a chip on his shoulder and he's being difficult. And they don't really want him to be a bad guy going into WrestleMania 12 against Michaels. They want this to be what Hart wants it to be, which is who is the greatest wrestler on the face of the planet. We will have an hour and it will be great wrestling technique. And they've just got a thing now where Bret Hart can't stop going, I'm going to be hated. So if they boo me, then I can be angry about it and I can get that anger out. It's a really tense time that makes me feel sick when I watch it back.
Good stuff.
There's a tombstone, but Diesel runs in, he yanks the official out, and they do a disqualification victory for Undertaker after half an hour. I watched this on the network. I was annoyed this match is on the network. Don't think it should be.
It shouldn't be on there, no.
Diesel at the end gives the finger, which is, and you've seen in this show, we've got Goldust, we've got what's going to become the birth of Steve Austin, and we've got someone flipping the bird. We are beginning to change. We are beginning to become attitude-y. Hart didn't feel that this DQ loss was the best way to build him up for the main event of WrestleMania 12. And he would have a match where he defeated Diesel in a cage match at In Your House between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania the following month. But he said he felt he was secondary by that point to Undertaker and Diesel's feud, which was the one that was running at that point.
It seems to me people have been dodging me around here lately.
I don't dodge anybody.
So this is the way it's going to be, huh?
If it's gotta be, it has to be.
So everything that happened, Bret Hart found disagreeable. And it's so horrible that the most obnoxious, gross person comes up with a guy who is beginning to feel disgruntled. And it just makes for such a sort of horrible, horrible time. They have a weird thing right at the end, just called the Royal Rumble Plus, where Gorilla does a little interview where he sets up the Bret Hart versus Diesel match at In Your House. Absolutely no idea why he's decided Diesel is the number one contender. Diesel has been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. He's then interfered in an Undertaker match. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very strange. But like you said, it's just funny that he was birthing the middle finger, but Diesel would very much not be part of the plan.
No,
absolutely.
Give him the finger. He will sow the seed
give the finger,
and he will move to another farm. And they have Doc Hendricks with Shawn Michaels. And I mean, if you sort of go, Shawn Michaels a real cunt, just watch this single interview. Everything he says and does, the way he moves, he's like doing sort of, I've written here and I don't know what they are. He's doing cat hands. He's going, ow. And he's sort of, he's talking too much and he's doing too many faces and he's grabbing people and he'll do shit-eating grins at the end of lines and then carry on. And I think he's got clicky face from taking something as well. And he's a bit sort of twitchy and a bit manic.
I've completed phase 1. The Heartbreak Kid and his clique. You know, back in medieval days, back when the dinosaurs were running around, lots of stuff used to run wild, but that don't happen anymore. The coolness of the clique is going to run, not wild, but rampant in the 90s. HBK has completed phase 1, and next, the clique and HBK got a one-way ticket to WrestleMania and the World Wrestling Federation Championship. I don't want to say that I told you so, but I told you so.
And when they ask him questions, he just starts peering at an imaginary vanishing point in the distance. And it's all like, what are you doing? All of these things might make sense in certain circumstances, but just smashed together, it's just chaos. It's absolutely horrible. And no one steps in and goes, stop it. Just stop it and settle down. We have a little bit where Gorilla comes in and he says, well, Shawn Michaels doesn't know who he'll face at WrestleMania, but he will be having that main event. And then Undertaker comes in and he starts talking and towering over Gorilla. Gorilla is not intimidated in the slightest. He just carries on talking about matchmaking, which I really like the idea. The Undertaker frightened everyone apart from Gorilla Monsoon. He says there's going to be an addendum to the match. It's now going to be a steel cage match between Diesel and Hart. You then get Diesel with Hendricks. I mean, what this bit is, I have no... Why they suddenly go, let's jam a load of stuff in. Diesel, he is drinking what looks like white turpentine. Diesel, he's having a little thing. Maybe horse cum, who knows? And he says, isn't Gorilla Monsoon doing a hell of a job since his lobotomy? He's good at delivering those lines, is Diesel. He's very laid back. He's funny. But that doesn't really seem to work at this point as a main eventer. It seems like you're just a bit like a stoner, and it lacks that sort of sense of I'm going to beat you. And again, I imagine Bret Hart was looking at that going, this fucking guy doesn't know how to, Jesus Christ.
Work over an elbow.
He then talks, there's an echo of the early thing that he did, which he talks about his mum sending him down to the basement. I mean, has he done anything since 9 years old that he's willing to talk about in these promos? Previously, he was all about, it's like I've been left at home alone when mum and dad have gone out to the Lindy Hop or whatever. I mean, it's just weird.
What about the statement the Undertaker just made that you'll never be WWF champion again?
I'll do whatever I want to do.
That's cool.
Number one, when I was a kid, for punishment, my mom used to send us downstairs to the darkest part of the basement and turn on a light. She thought I was scared of the dark. I wasn't. I fooled her. Undertaker, I'm not afraid of the dark, and I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anybody. But I'll tell you something right now. You and me, you throwing some kind of idle threats, I ain't buying it. I'm not afraid of you.
Hey, I'm not afraid anymore. I said I'm not afraid anymore. Do you hear me? I'm not afraid anymore.
The only thing I'm afraid of is a tax man. All right?
The only thing I'm afraid of the taxman, he says, and then he says, it's not the World Wrestling Federation, it's the Diesel Wrestling Federation, which is absolutely
less good, isn't it?
I mean, it's sad to end on that one. Then we get Vader, and Vader is just smashing things around, and then it finally ends. Why, you go, the best way to go out will be on multiple interviews with the same three people. That is the way to end a show. But what hard work that show was.
Yeah. It didn't need the extra match at the end because it meant nothing.
The thing that stuck out for me here is Goldust. But the other thing I noticed, which is annoying, and it's part of the reason Shawn Michaels is so arrogant, is I was thinking, I actually can't think of a single match he had at this time that wasn't good. And you see Bret Hart having quite dull matches here with The Undertaker. He didn't have a great one with Diesel, and you begin to sort of go, maybe Michaels was right, Maybe Bret got the hump because he knew there was a big old grain of truth in Shawn Michaels going, I'm better and I'm the future. And, God, it's terrible when awful people turn out to be absolutely right. It's just the worst.
Back up! Come on! Stop it! Stop it! Bret! Are you enjoying this, Bret?
No, I find it disgraceful. Where's the referee when you need him, right?
Oh, you're lying, Hitman.
I just want to make, I don't have any animosity towards Shawn, and I certainly don't want anything bad to happen to him before the matchup, because, he's a friend of mine. The fact that we're going to fight each other is just part of the job, I think.
Come on, McMahon, he's lying through his teeth.
I've found something that made me laugh so much on the way home. There was a report, the UK prosecutors have confirmed 21 charges have been authorised against Andrew and Tristan Tate. And I noticed there were 138 comments, and I was so ready, and I was like, I know what this is all going to be, and it's just going to be a parade of men. There's quite a lot of, because it's BBC breaking news, there's loads of people posting pictures of Hugh Edwards and going, sort your own house out. And it's a bit like, I mean, it's not one or the other.
You can walk and chew gum. You really can.
Exactly. The police don't have to make one arrest a year, and they can't make any more.
No.
And you've got to choose. But I was scrolling down, and there was nothing. It was just obvious.
Nothing delicious.
An account. My eyes flipped over it, and it's by Eli the dog. And so the headline is, UK prosecutors confirmed 21 charges authorised against Andrew and Tristan Tate doing human trafficking. Yeah. And this account, Eli the dog, responded, woof, woof. Oh, boy, that's a lot of sniffing and wagging to do. So many things to investigate. But no matter what, I believe in kindness, belly rubs, and the power of a happy tale. Remember, every day's an adventure, maybe even with some extra treats, sending positive vibes and lots of wiggles. I was like, this is... I mean,
a dog account, a dog bot.
Now, we know someone whose mum ran an account in the name of her dog, and it would speak in what had been decided was a dog language.
Yeah.
So it would go, "Hi, fur ends. Me is having a wiggly day," sort of thing.
Yeah. And the dogs would get married to other dog accounts, and they would hang out, and I think drink might have been taken.
That's it. They get deeper and deeper. And there's these old women in office sort of rooms in their house, all across the country, basically planning fictional weddings with other drunk elderly women going, me can't wait to get married to you's big time. And then the other one would respond and go, he's also got boyfriend. It was madness. It was absolute madness. But I saw this one and I was like, oh, is this one of those funny ladies? Let me have a look. Anyway, I went to the profile.
Yeah.
And Eli the dog, professional treat tester. Hi, y'all. My name's Eli, and I think eating is the best. And it's powered, it mentions, by an AI company.
Right,
so
okay.
it is an AI thing. So I thought, okay, so what it's done is it's scraping the news, which a lot of them are.
Yeah.
What's really funny about this is Eli the dog, it's been a rough news week, right? Really bad.
Oh, God.
Really bad.
I do not need to know Eli the dog's feelings on Gaza. I just don't.
Are you going to hear him? Squirrel alert! Big mix-up in Liverpool. Wrong guy gets the blame for a scary parade crash. Now he's worried for his family, just like I worry about snacks. So many treats, so little times.
Oh, no.
But hey, even when things go squirrely, we keep wagging. Right.
Oh, God, no.
Whoa, big news. A sad story. God. I'm going to change the name because fuck me. Whoa, big news. A sad story about a young dad named Ryan who was hit by a car, like chasing a squirrel and missing the jump. The police are on the tail of a suspect. Hopefully they catch him so Ryan can rest peacefully.
Why is he getting involved? Why is the AI dog getting involved?
Oh no, what a scary day. A big event in Merseyside had a really bad incident, like when I chased my tail and almost bump into the couch.
Just, you know what? Stick to the entertainment news, mate. Yes. Stick to Justin Bieber related stories, please.
Sometimes accidents happen, but hey, let's shake it off and get some treats, right? Then, there's another bot interacting with that going, "Hi, handsome, how you doing today?" Just came across your profile. Bots talking to each other.
Talking to bots.
Bots as women talking to bots as dogs. Big news. Legal eagles say Israel's Gaza actions might be a big no-no under international law. Emoji of a bone. They're calling for sanctions, ceasefires, and lots of serious talk. Like when I chase my tail.
Oh, God.
And it repeats the same things. Oh, no, woof. Liverpool's big victory parade turned into a wild chase, like trying to fetch a squirrel and ending up in a race.
He's only got 3. He's only got chasing his tail and hitting the sofa. He's got the squirrel stuff.
And my tail is wagging.
And tail is wagging, yeah.
That's it. My tail is wagging, he says, just thinking about all those fans and the crazy car adventure.
Wow.
Amazing.
It's yeah.
It looks,
could be anyone's,
do you know what?
couldn't it?
It reminds me actually of, is it when you chase a fucking squirrel? Yes, it is.
Could you interact with? We've got to start interacting with this dog and ask it questions. What it thinks about John Cena's heel turn.
What a week to launch, though. Someone's put so much time and energy into doing that just so it could basically fucking get the mood of the nation so wrong. It's
just absolutely atrocious.
Could not have made me laugh more.
There's been so much wrestling news this week.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we've done 10 minutes on a horrible Eli the dog the bot. Yes. Is he better than Eli the wrestler? That's the question. Can he play the guitar?